Look, man, Chris Paul, we already talked about it. We did a previous video talking about Chris Paul. We talked about how he was supposed to be washed up, and that just hasn't been the case, and it is manifesting. And what we're seeing with him playing with the Phoenix Suns this season, with the Suns being the second place in the Western Conference at the time of this recording. So you really give credence to Chris Paul and his effect and leadership to really impact whatever team he goes to, and to be able to really turn around franchises. But let's look into just some of the little things that he does to take advantage of defenses that uplift his own teammates, and also allow him to have played at such a higher level this late into his career as a small guard. Normally when you're a small guard, you get to this point in your career, a lot of guys start to tail off. Not for Chris Paul, but let's see how he's manipulating defenses to do that. So starting off with this first play, Chris Paul is a master of reading the floor and knowing his situation. Right here, he's looking to push the pace here and catch the defense still scrambling. Right away, you can see his eyes reading Mike Conley in the back, lining up with Devin Booker trailing behind him, who is the only defender on that side of the floor not in a vulnerable defensive position. Although the two defenders directly in front of him, Rudy Gobert and Royce O'Neal, are on their heels, Gobert has his back to Chris Paul and is just trying to sprint to the paint to protect the rim. O'Neal is trying to recover to cut off Chris Paul's line to the basket, but Gobert is in his way, which messes up O'Neal's footing to get into a defensive stance. Once the defender's feet are both off of the ground, he's a sitting duck, because he can't change directions, which CP3 takes advantage of with this crossover. He then sees DeAndre Ayton trailing behind him and knows he'll be open with Gobert planting himself in the paint, so he makes the easy pass and gets Ayton for an open look. These are little things that Chris Paul does, like when you see him pushing that fast break and he already has his eyes down the court looking to read each guy. And when you're looking at the picture of it all, like let's look at this picture. Chris Paul is, aside from Jay Crowder, there's no other Suns teammate ahead of Chris Paul in this picture. So there's no other guy that he can use to kind of create an unbalanced fast break that we alluded to in the last video. So let's jump into this next play. This play looks like it's supposed to be a stagger screen to get CP3 matched up with Derek Favors on him. Ayton never really sets the second screen, but Crowder's first screen did enough to free up Chris Paul from Bojan Bogdanovic, which forces Favors to try to defend both DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul. We all knew that wasn't happening.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Paul works the space masterfully, slowing down so he can freeze Favors for a split second. This is something that all small guards know how to do. Change of pace is huge in the NBA, because if you're just going full speed all the time, look, you're not going to last long if you only have one gear. The best players, like the herky-jerky guys like Derrick Rose in his prime, where you can shift gears at the drop of a hat. Kyrie Irving's very herky-jerky, very shifty in terms of the gears he changes in and out of, from going from fast to slow, and it really messes up defensive players, because when you play at a certain pace, at a certain rhythm, sometimes when guys slow down the ball or when they're pushing super fast and fast break, a defensive player is just trying to sprint to cut them off or get in front of them. But then when you slow down or you change your pacing, it's kind of like you throw off the rhythm of the beat in a weird way, if you know what I mean. Like if you ever been dancing with somebody and then they're not really good at staying on rhythm, and then they throw you off of rhythm because they're off rhythm, it's something similar to that. So then you see Ayton slips to the basket, and CP3 puts the ball only where he can get it to avoid Favors possibly intercepting it. So give credit to Chris Paul for even being able to make the perfect pass, because the problem why Derek Favors is in such a tough position is because when you come off of a screen and you're trying to help on the little guy, whoever the other guy is that got screened. So in this case, I believe it's Bojan Bogdanovic. If you're trying to help him, he's trying to run back to get back to CP3 and be able to play defense on him. But you're trying to stay in front of CP3 to give him to give Bojan the time to recover. But at the same time, Ayton is going to the rim for a lob or for a pass to try and get a dunk or a layup of some sort. So you're normally you would tag the big man so he wouldn't be able to get up into that lob motion. But because CP3 kind of holds him there with that, he kind of slows down and holds him there for that split second, it allows Ayton to kind of get behind him, and then Favors never gets to really tag him and hold him there, so then that lob frees up. One of the key things to being effective on the basketball court is knowing your spots. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're a scoring guard, if you're a big man, if you're anybody on the basketball court, and you need it, if you're just going to be an offensive liability, you're not going to get much playing time. But if you want to make an impact, you have to know your spots. One of the biggest keys to CP3 being able to make his career be effective as late as it has been as a small guard is that he knows his spots. Most of Chris Paul's points in this game came from his most effective areas of the court throughout the season, which is no surprise. Let's count how many shots come from around the elbow and the block area for CP3. He's hit more shots from the right side block, short corner area than any other shot he's taken this season. That even includes shots at the rim. Think about that. He's hitting more shots from that area of the court than even layups. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Here's how it even looks in his shot chart. CP3 knows what he's great at, and he manipulates defenses so he can take the shots he is most comfortable with, and that's how he's been able to still be effective and take advantage of defenses even as a smaller guard, because that was one thing Kobe Bryant was amazing at even late into his career, was that he would get to that elbow area, he would get to the block and be able to take the shots he wanted. Even though the fadeaway shot is a tough shot, it was Kobe's shot that he was comfortable with, you know what I mean? So he was able to take advantage of defenses taking those shots or that pull-up mid-range jumper. So guys, hopefully this video has been an informational one. You guys learned something in this video. Of course, if you guys learned something, if you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, guys, of course. And leave your comments down below. What do you think? How do you think Chris Paul has affected the Suns team? Do you think they can make a playoff run now that Chris Paul is on the team? And do you think that they have the veteran leadership to be able to make a deep run? Because think about it, guys like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, all the pivotal guys on this team haven't been to the playoffs. So you think these guys can get there? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think, of course. And of course, share it with a friend, share it with a buddy, share it on Reddit, share it on whatever basketball platform or Twitter platform, something like that you have, or you just share it in your communities, guys. Always appreciate it when you guys support the channel by sharing the videos. It helps get the word out there for the community, and I always appreciate the love, guys, in that respect. So guys, of course, until next time, man, I'm out. Thanks for watching.